Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. My name is Bernadette Desir, and I'm your host. And joining me today is Tiffany. Is it Rochelle, your last name?
Tiffany Rochelle, that's me, born and
I
raised.
love that last name. That's so cool. I love your name. Tiffany, welcome. Welcome to my
Thank you.
playground, girl.
Appreciate you. And I love playing. So, hey, let's go ahead. Good old playground. There it is.
Yes, yes. Tiffany, where are you tuning in from?
I am in Florida, South Florida to be exact. And if you want me to narrow it down a little bit more, I'm in West Palm Beach.
Oh, can you
So,
guess where I am?
no, mm-mm,
It's
mm-mm.
cold.
I mean, that sounds like that's going to either be up north or that could be all the way. That could be anywhere, sunshine.
I'm in Canada.
Really? Okay, see, I'm cheated because I kind of knew that from background. So let me not do that because I did kind of read stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's where you're doing it at right now.
It's
Okay.
cold. Yeah, yeah. So, Tiffany, can you tell us more about you and what you do?
Absolutely. So I am Tiffany Rochelle, also known as the People's Cheerleader.
Mhm.
And one thing that I love to do is I love to encourage people. I love encouraging men and women, but I primarily work with women. So, what I like to do is to encourage women to rid the toxins from their hearts and setting goals that are true to them. Sometimes we'll have goals that are set from our parents or from our brothers, sisters, or cousins, friends that are around us. I know, like, there were some girls that I used to hang out with when I was real little, and I was but we
Yeah.
all wanted to be nurses. One of them wanted to be, she wanted to be a doctor. My mom wanted me to be a lawyer, but
Mm,
everybody has different visions for everybody's life. And so
mhm,
sometimes we'll pick up on those. If I would have did what my mother wanted me to do, which was be a lawyer, I could have did it because she says you love arguing. And I'm like, I
mhm.
don't. I just like to prove points.
Yeah.
But it's I like to help women set goals that are authentic and true to them. So find out what you like to do, what makes your heart beat, what's authentic to you, what makes you want to wake up in the day and try to help encourage somebody.
Mhm.
What floats your boat? That's what
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
try to you foster what you like doing and then being authentic in there. Everybody else is taken. So like what my company is called Be You. So we help you to walk into your purpose for you authentically being who you were created to be. So everybody else is taken. The slogan for my company is why be somebody else when you're so doggone good at being yourself.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
thank you.
Did you always wanted to do what you're doing?
No, I cannot say I always wanted to do that. I grew up a preacher's kid. I'm a former pastor's wife, so I have not always wanted to do this. I did want to be a surgical nurse at one point in time. And
Oh, wow.
so
Yeah.
I kind of like blood. Shh, I'm not trying to kill nobody though. Okay. But I was one of them kind of people. If something you stabbed your leg, if
Mhm.
something happened to you, I'm that person. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come help you. I just like
Mhm.
those kind of things. But life took a turn, and I enjoy helping individuals. So the minute that I get the opportunity to help people, that's what I.
Mhm.
So I found that out about me. But
Yeah.
doing life coaching, being a therapist, no, I cannot say that that's what I wanted to do. I just
That's awesome. Yeah. So what was it like growing up? Did you grow up in the church?
absolutely born and raised in the church. As far as I'm concerned, my story that I will tell you is I was conceived in the church. My mama and daddy went back and did it.
Well, do
Very good.
tell.
But yes, I was born and raised in the church. So this kind of that was my background. That's just what I know. That's second nature for me. I'm a preacher's kid, so I did the ushering thing. I did the choir directing. That's my heart's passion. So I did choir directing. You name it, I did it. I was doing praise and worship. I was leading that. I mean, you name it, I did it. As far as church wise
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. I won't say that I was like neglected as a child. I ain't gonna say like I had a super huge bad childhood or nothing like that. I think childhood was great. Transition happened for me though when I turned 15 because I decided to get married and have a kid. So that's when life kind of like transitioned for me.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay. I'm a teen mom too.
how many babies or how a baby?
I have two.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
sweet. Boy,
Boy and
girl.
a girl. Yeah, yeah. They keep me on my toes. Yeah.
I believe it. That's why well, I have three. So I have a boy, girl, boy. They're 26, 25, and 21.
Oh,
So
wow. They're
Don't you?
big
Oh, wow,
kids.
you like that?
That's awesome. Wow. So what has your childhood taught you as a mother?
Great question. I guess childhood taught me to be loving. And I hadn't always been that way. I will say that. I think transition happened for me after I became a mom at 15. I had my son actually at 16. So I got pregnant at 15. I had my son at 16. He was born in September and my birthday is in August. So it was just one of those little things. I had a little loving family. I shouldn't say it that way. It's so disrespectful. A little loving family. But I had a
Yeah.
loving family, but then that just kind of like after divorce happened, I had the three babies. And after the divorce happened, it kind of taught me just to really kind of like appreciate what I did have.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I just got so used to just being, hey, I got to take care of the kids. I got to go take care of the husband. I got to make sure I'm ready and available for church. Everybody needs me and whatever. So it kind of like taught me to actually appreciate me. Though, well,
Mhm.
like, because I know one thing I will do is make sure you're good. Hey, how you feeling? You're not feeling too well today? Oh, okay. Well, what can I bring you? You need something? All right, I'm on my way over there. Okay, you go rest. You go relax. I got the kids. I'm going to always make
Mhm.
sure everybody is taken care of, but who is making sure me is taken?
Mm.
And so one of those little things that I guess I learned throughout life
Mhm.
is you got to make sure you take time for you.
Yeah.
No, if you don't take time for you, who's going to take time for you? Because sometimes people aren't readily available to do that. You know, you want people to make sure you're good, but sometimes people aren't going to do that. So if nobody else takes care of you, make sure you take time for you and take.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think I needed to hear that. Not that
Yeah.
I didn't know I should do that.
Uh-huh.
As a single mom, like
Yeah.
my kids come first and me, I sort of come last, and I know many other women, whether
Mhm.
they're moms or not, they do struggle. It
Mhm.
seems to be like a silent disease. We
Mhm.
all are suffering with it, but we
Mhm.
ignore it and we
Mhm.
try to hide it when really all of us are going through the same thing, just different ways.
Mhm. But
Mhm.
that's the catch is we'll just ignore us and we can't be ignored. Like that I have to steal that line off the airline when you're going to go fly. They say if something's happening to the airline, you got to secure your mask first.
Yeah.
If you're not making sure you're taken care of, then them babies aren't going to be able to be beneficial because once you get down and you get sick, if something happens to you, who's going to make sure the kids are great? So, like, if you don't make sure you take moments out of your day and out of your time to make sure you're taken care of, hey, even if that means every day I'm going to take a 5-minute break, I would love to have a longer moment, but even just taking moments out of the day to take care of you. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to drive down to Dunkin' Donuts. Don't judge me because Tiffany runs on Dunkin'. So even if
Yeah.
I take a moment to go down the road, no kids, you aren't going with me. This is my moment. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to have this little donut moment. This is just
Mm.
for me, like taking that moment for you. Or even if that means you're just going to go to the mall, it don't mean you got to go spend money, but you can walk around the mall by yourself and make sure you're taking care of you because you're always pouring into your kids. You're always pouring into other individuals. And if you're always constantly pouring out, you need something to pour back into you. One thing I realize is we can't pour from an empty cup. If I continuously give you what all of my goodness that I got in there, man, this cup is empty and I don't feel good. And now, man, I don't feel, now I'm depressed. Now I'm lonely. Anxiety is taking over me and I don't feel like doing anything. So one thing I have learned also, I'm giving from my saucer. Here's my cup and here's my saucer. I give you the overflow because I cannot allow me to continuously give out. I'm going to help you. But if I don't make sure that I'm taken care of, I'm giving you everything for me. And now there's nothing for me to give. I'm tired. I'm wore out. I'm depleted. We got to take care of us.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I've been learning about energy vampires, and it
Mhm.
sounds really bad and toxic because it is.
And they are.
They are.
They
Um,
are.
yeah, because I've run across people who
Absolutely.
suck the life out of me. It
Mhm.
happened recently. I'm like, holy crap. This
Mhm.
person makes me feel small. I
Yeah.
feel sick. I feel just anxious. This is not a good feeling. I'm like, what is this that I'm feeling?
Mhm,
Where is it coming from? How
mhm,
is that person able to have that much power over me, over my
mhm,
emotions,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
What advice would you give to people to kind of detect, to detect when those people are around and
Uh-huh.
also to protect their energy and strength from them?
Makes sense. So the catch for me is being cognizant of your surroundings. So, hey, I know me, like right now, I'm like, hey, I got a personal summer going on. So you're seeing me glow. It looks like it's going, I'm sweating. Okay. But nevertheless, for me, I know I'm feeling all right though. Like right outside of me being hot, I know I'm okay. Nothing's wrong with me. So if I happen to go around certain individuals and I sense something, now I'm like, now I got to be aware of who this is. I feel like something. I think one thing we have to do is really realize how we feel, appreciate it, own it, and respect it. So if I'm around this specific individual and they make me feel anxious, I'm feeling like I got anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I don't know why this is happening to me. Are you always like that when you're around that individual? And then you have to kind of like pay attention. Is it this person that's making you feel like it? Is it something that's triggered in there? Is there some kind of trauma that they have experienced and you're picking it up? You just got to be very aware of what's going on and respect your feelings. If you feel that way, own it. And it's okay to say, hey, right now, this is not a good time for me to be around you. And it's
Yeah.
okay. Like we
Yeah.
don't have to be disrespectful when we talk to individuals. And I think sometimes that's what we'll do is when I'm around somebody and it doesn't feel good, you will deny your feelings of, I don't want to be around this person, but they need me. No, you need you. It's okay to say no. And you ain't got to be like, no, I don't feel like dealing with you. Get away from me. No, you can respectfully say, now's not a good time for me to be around. Like, right. And you don't have to disclose what your problem is,
Yeah.
but it's okay for you to respectfully say, right now is not a good time. Or, hey, you know what? I'll be right back. Or I'll see you later. I got something to do. You do have something to do. You got something to do is take care of you. So I gotta
Yeah.
go. See you
Yeah.
later. And it's okay for you to own those feelings. I just
Mhm.
need to leave. But if you're seeing that on a regular basis around specific people, at that point in time, you really got to make a choice between your feelings, how you feel, or that individual. I
Mhm.
choose my life. I choose how I feel. I choose my emotions.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose me. That's my book. I choose me.
Yeah.
I choose me and I want to go ahead and make sure I'm okay. And that might be a person you might just need to separate yourself from. It may be separating for a particular season, or it could be separating for good because sometimes we all go through different seasons in life and it's not forever. Right now, I just don't feel like being bothered, and that's okay. Or, who knows, that parent, they could be going through a situation, relationship, kids may be acting up. It's not going to be there always, but you just kind
Mhm.
of got to be cognizant of how they're feeling, how you're feeling. Does this person always bring me joy, sadness, or anxiety? And be cognizant of that. Pull yourself away either for a season or permanently, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. And it's even harder when you cannot get away from those people
Mhm,
because every single family is
mhm,
screwed up in their own ways, and
sure.
every single family may have one, if
Mhm,
not more, energy vampires. And
uh-huh.
it's like trying to run away from your feet, but you can't do that.
You need your feet, right? But then I
Right?
think that's where we get locked in sometimes also is because that's a family member. We feel like we can't forsake them. Why can't we? Like if that family member is really causing me to feel a certain kind of way. If I'm being depressed constantly when I'm around you, or if anxiety has happened, or even if I want to commit suicide, I'm feeling like I'm angry, I want to fight all the time, I'm about to cuss you out. If
Mhm.
that particular family member is causing you to feel that way, I don't think we should allow that particular label, family, to cause us to be around that individual. And again, it could be seasonal because we don't know what they're going through. So you can have that conversation, feel, or you might already know, yeah,
Mhm.
man, I just can't deal with this right now. I'll see you from a distance. Hello.
Mhm.
And call it a day. I'm out of here. But
Yeah.
I don't think we should just definitely, just because you're my family, I'm stuck in, I have to be around you. And you're causing me problems, you're causing me drama. But because you're family, I got to stay around there. No, if there was a job that was causing us turmoil, what do? We start putting our resume out there. We start figuring out something else that we really want to do, applying to a different job, and we get ourselves out of there, or we'll immediately quit and say, I'll figure it out later on. If we can leave a job because of how that job is making us feel, I think we can go ahead and separate ourselves from family as well. You don't have to say, I hate you and I'll never be around you, but you can definitely separate yourself from them.
Mhm. Oh, sorry, my throat is so dry.
It's good.
I
You just telling
don't
me
know
I'm
if I
making
sh
you
I
throw
don't know if
up.
I should do that other interview.
You definitely, there we go. Take care of you.
Sorry.
That's what you got to do. Better secure your mask because you
Yeah,
got, do
yeah,
you want
sorry.
all that stuff? Sure. But
Yeah, yeah, because I've been sitting at home for 2, 3 days. I'm like, I'm gonna do something today. If I
Mhm.
do anything, I don't feel like I accomplish anything.
Uh-huh.
I paint a lot, but yeah.
But it's okay for you
Hmm.
not to do anything. Like,
That's
don't
true.
beat yourself up because you're not doing something. That's probably what you need to do, is not do something because you're always
That's
doing
true.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Your
that's
body is telling you to chill out.
I will.
Chill
Yeah.
out.
So, yeah. Would you describe yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
Depends on the moment.
Yeah, do tell.
Seriously, I kind of think I'm an introvert, but I don't really think I am. I really feel like it kind of depends on who I'm around and what they bring out of me.
Mhm.
If I cannot be around people, I thoroughly enjoy not being around people. But if
Me
I'm
too.
around people, I thoroughly enjoy being around people. I kind of, it just, again, it just kind of really depends. I'm one of them individuals that I can get along with whoever, or wherever.
Mm.
So it's okay for me. Um, I guess you call it a chameleon if you so desire to, but I get along with practically everybody. I don't have to stay in that, but that's me because I realized about me, I may not stay around you because I might sense that here comes some sapsuckers or energy vampires.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like, oh, it's getting ready to happen. Nope, it's time for me to go. It was wonderful seeing you guys. Oh man, it was so good to see you. You want a picture? All right, here we go. Like, it was good to see you. Memories. All right.
Yeah.
God bless your hearts and your parts. See you later.
I love that. So you're also a podcaster. Can you tell me more about your podcast?
Yeah, so my show is called Hear My Heart. I believe out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. And so that is super beneficial for us to make sure that we rid the toxins from our heart. Sometimes we have dramatic situations that's happened to us past. And it causes us to talk from an angry place. If somebody bothered us, boyfriend, girlfriend, got with us and they did some wrong to us, now we're holding it and then we're holding it hostage. Now, when I start to talk to you, you got long hair like my boo used to have. And ooh, you remind, ooh, that color, and certain things just
Yeah.
trigger me, so to speak. Now I'm talking to you from that place. You ain't even that person, don't know who they are, but I believe it's beneficial for us to excavate those feelings from ourselves so that when we talk to individuals, they can hear the words that come from our mouth versus listening to the tone and the texture. That meant all those things, the tones, textures, and words, they all matter. So Hear My Heart is an opportunity for us to hear exactly what's going on, where your past struggles is. It could be somebody's present. So you're helping pull us through our present moment so that we'll be able to live a beautiful future. So just, it's not, we're not going through this journey alone. It's pretty much
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
about.
When did you start your podcast?
Oh, good. I think we're going on 12. I can tell you the exact date, 12/12/21.
Oh,
Is
wow.
the
That's so
date
cool.
that I started it. So it was really fun. Season one, that was great. I was doing that live. So I found individuals that I wanted to be on the show, and that was really fun and it was great. And then certain individuals started not showing up. Then it became me just talking to people all by myself. So I said,
Yeah.
all right, season two is just gonna be me. And that's what we're doing. That's my ministry anyway. It's just empowering individuals. So hey, that's what I did season two. I'm like, but I'm talking to myself. This feels weird. Didn't like it so much. So that's when I transitioned, and it's time for me to go back to, and we're just talking to individuals. So that's where we're at now. We're talking to individuals, and I have ladies on there that are just empowering other ladies. Men do it too. I do have a few guys that came on that's able to empower the individuals. So that's basically where we're at now on season three. And hey, we're going to empower individuals. So we get to hear your heart telling us where your past trauma or whatever situation you're dealing with. There could
Mhm.
be some generational trauma that you're dealing with, or that's your specialty. So you're trying to help us transition out of there. Different individuals come on there, but you have our ear. So you give us what's
Yeah.
going on in your heart, because if you spell the word heart, you hear ear in it. So there
Mm.
you go. You have our ear. Let's hear your heart. It's kind of
Ooh,
how
I love that. Well, you're not alone. I started by just talking to myself, right?
uh-huh.
And I just pick different topics and then I expand on it. I give examples and shared my story.
Yeah.
And over time, I'm like, I want to hear people's stories.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
yeah, it hasn't stopped since.
Yep. And we're still going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're still here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love that you're talking about trauma. I'm getting ready to do Facebook Live on trauma.
Okay.
I started doing it last year, I think November, October, where I
Mhm.
pick one word of the
Okay.
month
Mhm.
and to do live and to talk about it. We did grief last month, and then February is trauma.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, can you tell me more of your experience with trauma?
So as far as trauma self experience, I'll share with you. So again, I've already shared that I was married at 15. So I had my three babies. So boy, girl, boy. And by the time I was 22, I was completely divorced. I'm a single mother. We had some tumultuous conversations, I should say. And so we've had some very interesting situations that's gone on between the two of us. And
Mhm,
then I decided to move on. I think I've been married twice. I didn't know think I know I have. I've been married twice. So life has been very interesting. And then seeing my babies go through some situations,
mhm,
I'll let them tell their stories because they haven't released it just yet. But there has been some interesting times of seeing my babies go through some traumatic situations and having to be mom. And I'm like, do I be mom or do I allow you guys to go ahead and stand in it? Because my babies are grown now. And do I allow you guys to do it? Okay, I'm here. Let me be super mom from the side. So I'll go ahead and help you out. And I'm like, no, I'm mom. Forget it. I'm gonna fight your battles. Don't even worry about it. You done told me about it.
yeah,
Don't worry about it. I got this. Shh, you told me for a reason. But then trying to realize the balance of that. I can't always fight their battles for them.
mm,
That's a tough thing. But the trauma was once I got my divorce, and having to find out what life is alone, like because it was teenage years, like
yeah,
we were married for 7 years. But as far as being a teenager, I was a teenage mom and a teenage wife, and it's just transitioning from there. Like, how do I do life? And at one point in time, I just really felt like life wasn't worth living. I can't do this by myself. This single life is not for me. I got three babies and I'm taking them to every basketball game, every baseball game. We're doing gymnastics, we're doing cheerleading, every single thing. It was all on me.
mhm.
So that just became, very overwhelming. And at one point in time, I just felt like this is just not for me. I can't do this anymore. Life is not worth living, and I am over this. And so I went through that battle and I felt like life wasn't worth living. And I was like, no, we're not doing this no more. So thankfully I was able to snap out of that. I did go get me some help. I got me a counselor, I got me a therapist, I got me a coach. I sat down on somebody's couch. And I think that's something as Black people, sometimes we feel like you don't need that. We can't do that. Just talk to a family member, just talk to somebody. Well, everybody's not qualified to help you through what you're going through. And
Mhm.
I always believe it's okay for you to sit on somebody's couch. Go get a chair and sit on that, because there are qualified individuals that are able to help you through what you're going through. It just doesn't, I don't need you to tell me, well, Johnny's just always been like, I don't hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I need you to, oh, this is my time, this is my feelings, and I need you to hear that. And I need to be able to express that, because we have often suppressed some of the feelings that we feel. And then you want to fight Johnny's battle. I don't need you to fight Johnny's battle. Don't.
Yeah,
Shh.
yeah.
My time. I need to get these feelings out. And now I feel held hostage, because now you're telling me how he feeling, I don't want to hear that. So go find a couch so you can get that out. And then you'll be able to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
express your feelings, own your feelings. And then by the time you get bold enough to say, you know what, I'm strong enough in this. This is how I feel. You know what?
Mhm.
Wasn't right. That wasn't nice. You know what? This was not comfortable. And now you can go address the individual so that you can heal and you can go now, rather they change or not, that's all on them. But you can at least release how you feel and
Mhm.
you'll be able to do it in a tactful way.
Mhm.
That's how I was able to overcome some of the stuff. Therapy.
Yeah, 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 I agree. I've
Mhm.
done a crap ton therapy and I'm still going through, right? And
Mhm.
my family is they're the worst people I can ask
Okay.
for support.
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
my mom, but she's from an older generation, right?
Mhm.
She's like, snap out of it. And
Uh-huh.
why are you feeling sad? Why
Right.
can't I feel sad?
Uh-huh.
I'm flesh, I'm human, and I have emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah, why
Mhm.
not? Right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I agree. Therapy.
Yeah, it
Careful
definitely
where you get therapy from, but
that part. And that goes back to that conversation we had earlier is discerning how that person, because just because they're a therapist don't mean that they're the therapist for you.
Mm,
So it's okay to try another one. Hey, we're going to go to our initial counseling session. We're going to have a conversation to see if they're right for you. Pick up on how you feel. And if this just doesn't feel right, just because they're a therapist doesn't mean that that's the one you have to go to. Own your feelings, because we're here to get through these feelings. So if you don't feel right about that one, it's okay. Look through it, whoever, if you're going through your insurance carrier or you're choosing just to buy it out on your own, like this is your
yeah.
money, you're paying for it.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk a little bit about, I used to be one of those people who would fight a bear
okay.
to protect my pain and trauma.
Mhm.
And anyone who triggered that part of me, they were out.
Okay.
What would you say to I'm not like that anymore. What would you say, to those people who when they get triggered, they push people away when really they should do the opposite and they need the opposite?
Well, it depends on the individual, I'll have to say, because sometimes you might need to push that person away. Because if that
Yeah.
person is constantly being a trigger for you,
Mhm.
why do we want to continuously be around somebody that's triggering you to want to be angry? You're
Yeah.
triggering me to want to be upset. I want to cuss you out.
Mhm.
You know what? You and your mama can go somewhere. Like, why do we want to be around individuals that cause us that kind of trauma and that pain? Is it because we
Yeah.
like tension? Is it because it
Yeah.
feels good in that moment? You like the adrenaline that's going? If you like that kind of adrenaline, go skiing, go kayaking, like you
Go
parasailing.
swim with sharks.
Yeah, you got options. Okay. You have so many other things that you can do to be able to get your adrenaline going versus
Mhm.
being around toxicity. So it's something that we just really kind of need to get away from. I think if you want drama, find something on Netflix.
Mhm.
Prime Video, they have movies that you can watch drama. You don't have to be the drama. And I think that's the unfortunate thing is sometimes we see our reality TV shows and we feel like this is what we got to be. No, they're getting paid to do that. Like that's not
Yeah.
something that we need. You don't need the drama in your life. Now, there are going to be some
Mhm.
situations you kind of can't get away from. These are dramatic situations, but you got to figure out some type of way to navigate through that. And you got to
Mhm.
find you a trusted individual, and you should have trusted circles or people that's in your circle so that they can help you navigate through that so that you don't have to be in a traumatic situation that's causing you just to be like, oh, we gotta get away from it.
Yeah.
Notice who is bringing us those feelings. And again, I went through a divorce. So at certain times, me and my kid's father were like that, man, oh, I can't stand you. I can't stand you either. Like, but we gotta be around each other. Like, we can't get away from each other.
Mhm.
But all right, separate. We gotta find what we had as a mediator.
Mhm.
So at one point in time, he and I couldn't talk to each other. So since we can't talk to each other, we found a mediator until we got to that point where we can actually talk to each other and we hear the words that we're saying, because I can still tell you, I love you. And then I say, I love you. Still the same three words, but you hear the tone and you see all that
Mhm.
versus I love you. We need to be able to get to those individuals that we're hearing the words and hearing our hearts versus hearing all the extraness. If somebody is causing you that drama, you probably need to pull away from there, because there should be no one in your life that's causing you to be that hostile, that's
Mhm.
causing you to be that angry, that's keeping you in that particular place. Let them go, loose them and let them go. You just need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
High blood pressure is going to be around, cholesterol is going to go up, stress kills.
Mhm.
And you keeping that stuff around you on a regular basis, that's toxic. And you're shortening your lifespan because you're constantly trying to be around that. Why? If you want attention, there's different ways to have attention, versus having that kind of
Yeah.
shifted. We find something different though.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard so many different stories, how we store trauma in the body
Mhm,
and how the body tries to speak to us when it
mhm,
is overwhelming,
mhm,
for us to keep doing and keep going the way we're going. An
mhm,
example would be, I don't know if you're spiritual or not when it comes to the different auras and chakras and whatnot, but the
mhm,
throat chakra, I was
mhm,
listening to a lady, she had some kind of lump. It wasn't cancer, but she never spoke her truth to her
mhm,
family. And
mhm.
when she finally did, I don't know, it went away.
Good. You got
Yeah.
to start holding on to that kind of stuff. And I guess that's where we're going, is find you your therapist that can get you out. Unless you could talk to your family member and you're in a place where let's have this conversation. Hey, you know what? I remember this one particular time I came over to your house. And when I came over to your house, I wanted to play with your dolls. And you told me, no, I can't play with your dolls.
Yeah.
And that just is something so minute, but you're telling me, no, I can't play with your dolls. Now I've held that against you. Now every time I see you, I remember she used to
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
We are 32 years old here, and I'm still mad at you because of it. So now I'm at a different place in life. So now I can say, you know what? I've kind of been holding this against you.
Mhm.
You used to not let me play with your dolls. Now, that kind of hurt my feelings. You could probably tell me, well, my mom told me if I let somebody else play with my dolls,
Mhm.
because whoever else broke my dolls and she was tired of replacing them. I didn't know back then. Your mom was like, if somebody breaks your dolls, you're going to get in trouble and I'm going to break you. I didn't know that. But once we're actually having a conversation, now healing then began, because I was in a place I just really wanted to tell you, it hurt my feelings that I couldn't play with your dolls. We just have to get to a point where we're able to start sharing with individuals
Mhm.
how they are. And if you can't get to that point where you're just saying, you want to play with your dolls, if you can't talk from a healed place, find somebody so you can start talking from that. But we have to be able to share that. We don't need any of this in there, because
Mhm.
though stress kills you. You holding on to that. Now I can't,
Yeah.
now I'm paralyzed. I'm not saying that certain people's cases, but we're holding these traumas in. Now I'm paralyzed on my right hand side, like now I can't do too much of anything. And now I'm stuck. Once you start releasing it, it's amazing. Man, I can move on.
Yeah.
It affects us because we're holding on to stuff. Our heart is going to be strained because we're holding on to these things. Too much in your brain. Let it go.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to let it go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Speaking of letting it go, let's
Yeah,
talk about forgiveness.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tell
what do
us
you
your
want to talk
story.
about?
Why is it important to forgive even when it hurts?
Oh, because you need to be able to release that. That's a part. As I kind of shared that just a second ago. You
Mhm.
letting it go from you, because us holding, try holding hate, try holding on to hate, and try holding on to love, and seeing which one is greater.
Mm.
When you're holding on to those situations and I'm hating you, I can't stand you. Every time I see you, oh, you're making me angry. Now I'm reliving those moments and I am causing those certain situations to keep coming back up. Do I really want to keep holding on to that? Or I can choose to walk through the journey. I'm feeling that pain because you aggravated me. I'm feeling that pain because it hurt my heart. Having that so I can release that and I can continuously flow in love feels so much better to let go than to constantly remember the things that triggered me, constantly remembering the things that brought me anger and anguish. Letting that stuff go and being able to live feels so much better than to holding it hostage and saying, oh, I don't like you. Now, certain times, I think there's a difference between being able to forgive and reconcile. Those are two totally different things. And I think sometimes people feel like if I forgive you, that means I have to be around you. Two totally
Mm,
different things.
yeah.
Just because I've forgiven you does not necessarily mean that I have to have you around me. Two
Mhm,
totally separate things. So I forgive you. These are the things that we have walked through, regardless to if you want to forgive me or not. I
mm,
forgive me and I'm forgiving you for the things that's happened. We don't have to reconcile because reconciliation doesn't mean I want you back in my circle, but I'll
mm,
definitely forgive you for things that's happened. I think that's where we get forgiveness misconstrued. Just because I forgave you don't mean that we're going to reconcile and we have to be around each other. We have to
mhm.
we have to understand there's two totally different things.
Yeah, yeah. Is that something you talk about on your podcast?
I
Forgiveness?
talk about it on my podcast, but I more so talk about it for individual when we're doing coaching sessions. I do touch on it every now and then, but with the podcast, that's primarily individuals talking about their situations that they're going through. If I'm talking by myself, yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
However, the forgiveness portion is more so once I'm doing the coaching, I'm doing my one-on-ones, or I am doing my group coaching sessions. So you'll hear more so of that in there. But as far as the podcast, I touch on it every now and then. I might touch on it a little bit, just be like, what you talking about? Maybe I need to set up a session with her. She might know what she's talking about. Let's do it. So
Yeah, I love that. What is one of the proudest moments you've had in your lifetime?
the proudest moment that I have is when I recognize that I was able to live. Like that
Mhm,
is my proudest moment. There were so many things that I felt like I failed at. When I lost my job, I lost my house, I lost my cars. I felt like I lost all my tangible items. Marriage didn't, succeed. I felt like I lost everything. And so because I lost everything, what's life worth living for? What I get nothing.
mhm,
Like so, but once I really realized life is real life worth living and you can
mhm,
still thrive, you can still be successful. My success doesn't look like your success, and being okay with that, because sometimes we will measure people's success, and because I'm not as successful as she is, that means, oh, I'm good for nothing. No, I'm good right where I'm at. I still want to grow, but where I'm at, this is where I'm destined to be. I have purpose on my life. And once I realize my purpose and I realize I can live, I think that was the proudest moment when my eyes opened and I really realized you have more work to do. Just because you had some failures in your past that you're supposed to stop. That you're a failure. I can't say that I'm a failure. I have failed, but that does not mean that I wear the cloak of failure.
mhm,
So that's my proudest moment, is when I realize that I can live and there's purpose for my life.
mhm. Ooh,
Right.
I love that. I love
Right.
that. Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's one for me too.
Good stuff.
Just finding purpose. And
Hmm.
sometimes it takes time, to find what that is. And it's to
Hmm.
not give up when we're not getting the results that we want.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes some of the release and healing comes with the pain that we feel.
Absolutely. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You feel like you're in your purpose now?
Oh, girl. This is it. This is it.
Good stuff.
Like,
Come on, this is tour.
I
Yes.
love it. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Just sharing and hearing people's stories. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, speaking of, is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't covered?
The only thing that I'm gonna share with you guys is make sure that you grab my book. My book.
Tell us
Mhm.
more about your book.
I would be a horrible individual if I didn't share that, right?
Tell us more. What is the
So
title? What is it called?
I
And
have two of them.
yeah.
I have two books. One is Goal Digger, and then the other one is called I Choose Me. So Goal Digger is what I do, because I help individuals find their goals, and
Mhm.
to set some goals that are authentic to themselves. And you get a chance to go through. I have a workbook that's up there,
Oh,
and so you
nice.
get the opportunity to walk through that process. If you want me to go through the process with you, I totally can go through the process with you. You just have to go to my website and we can do that. The other book that I wrote is called I Choose Me, being okay with choosing who you are, and walking boldly in who you are. It is okay to choose us. I believe it's okay to be selfish. Everybody used to say a long time ago, don't be selfish, don't be selfish. Sometimes we have to be selfish.
Mhm.
And okay to be selfish with you,
Mhm.
because if you don't make sure self is taken care of, nobody that you want to make sure is good is going to be able to benefit, because you haven't been selfish enough to take care of self. So those are the two books that I wrote. Grab those. Follow me on social media. I'm on practically everything. My handle is the People's Cheerleader. So
Mhm.
if you're going on Facebook, Instagram, or the Tick of the Talks, YouTube also, and they're
Yeah.
all on People's Cheerleader.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I have one last question for you as well.
I'm ready to see if I have an answer.
What is the meaning of life for you?
Great question.
Thank you.
Meaning of life for me right now is to make sure I live it, to enjoy it, to embrace every moment of it. Because I think we get the opportunity. There's a statement that's out that says YOLO, you only live once. But unfortunately for me, I don't believe that. I believe you live every day. So you have one chance to live every single day. So every time my eyes open, that's another opportunity that I have to live. I get the statement. I promise you I do. I hear it. I get it.
Yeah.
But every day I get the opportunity to open my eyes. That's another opportunity that I get a chance to live. So what I said I wanted to do yesterday, make sure I say I get consistent with that and I'm actually doing it. Live life and enjoy it. So I've done it for so many years, not enjoyed life. I was just existing. So now that I get the opportunity to live, if I want to take a trip, take the trip. If I really want to, if I just
Yeah.
want to lay around the house and do absolutely nothing, I'm going to enjoy doing nothing because I'm always doing it. So, I mean, I'm always doing something. So get the opportunity to do nothing. That probably is going to feel great. For the first time of me doing it, it was uncomfortable as forgive me as hell. But when I did it, I was like, it's not that bad after all, like, because I'm so busy and I'm always doing stuff. So when I got the opportunity to not do something, and it wasn't because I was sick. When
Mhm.
I get sick for real. Don't let a cold come around. If I know you got a cold, I'm staying far away from you because if I breathe the same air, I'm sick.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, but for me to be able to be at home and do absolutely nothing, it feels great when it's by choice, not because I have to, because my body needs the rest.
Yeah.
So, what it means for me to live is to do just that, live, embrace every moment. It means for me to forgive. I
Mhm.
don't have to be in the same space for you, but in order for me to live and my body to appreciate it, I
Mhm.
got to forgive, release, and move forward.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the podcast to share your journey.
You're very
I
welcome.
wish you the very best.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will see each other soon.
Yes.